Good afternoon. This is Anka Metcalf with Trade Out Loud, and like I promised you guys in the newsletter, I intend on including a midweek update or an update whenever I see that there are stocks moving and a trailing would be appropriate to announce. So let's start with this week's trades. So first from the newsletter, I've called CTXS Citrix. The trade was called over $81.25, which basically is a daily trigger right here where my cursor is. And so far it's running in our direction. And like I said, I'm looking to see a positive reaction into $84, which is a whole number as well. And it should have some very good continuation higher. So let's hope the market momentum is going to continue to the upside. The next trade that was called in the newsletter was TXN. This was another favorite and actually was a favorite from earlier this year. And this stock has actually bottomed last year, was trying to hit a bottom last year. It actually bottomed in January. And as you can see in February, where most of the stocks were making new lows, this was hanging out in this $49 area. So it had a really nice ascending move to the upside. So what it did again is it is a daily trigger. So we had the pullback last week, and we had a daily trigger, and the trigger was $57.50. We're slightly about 10 cents above our trigger price, but again, it has a really nice void of continuing higher. We will be looking again at the $58 level for a target one, and then it has a really nice void continuing into the $60 area, and again, $60.60, which is the previous high. Another stock that was called in the newsletter this week was Microsoft, and Microsoft was a trigger above $50.50. It had a really nice continuation, and this is also as part of a daily trigger. This is a strong consolidation at the $50 level with a kind of a double or triple bottom, if you will, at this price range of $50. We did have a piercing through that ran all the way into this low of $48. $49 is where it stabilized back in February before it had its ascending move. And then we had earnings on it, a gap down. But again, this is a very strong pattern with a very strong stock. And again, the really high time frame, like the monthly chart, is still very much ascending, so it hasn't violated any uptrend. So we're looking for a target into $52, $53, and again, we would hope for a continuation higher and a gap fill all the way into 55, 56, and why not even into this high right here of $56.85. Another trade that was called was Bank of America. Bank of America was part of an ascending move higher, and again, this stock has bottomed in February 11th. It had its ascending move, and what I like in this is because it's actually having a really nice turnaround on major time frames. So it did have that accelerated move down throughout January, as you could see it right here on the left hand side. But again, right now it's trying to do this really nice counter trend move, and it's trying to reestablish a new uptrend. So we do have a bottom right here at $11, and we do have a higher low, and this is the second higher low, which confirms actually that the stock may be ready to continue higher. So the trigger was $14.15. It didn't run much up today. There were other sectors that participated, but nevertheless, this is a really nice buy setup with support setting into the prior high right here at $13 and about 85 cents. A really nice stable support for a possible bounce up into $15 and $15 and about 30 cents with this previous high. And at this level, we're going to see how price will react. And other than that, we're going to look for a continuation higher if that should occur. But remember, guys, whenever I post a target one level, remember to place your stops at that break even area, so you don't lose anything on this trade. And more than that, I would strongly recommend, because the market markets are so volatile, just take half of your profits, and this way you're gonna blend in some really good profits from this whole move if we should get a move higher. Remember, bank some money. We don't know whether the market is gonna continue higher or if it's going to have one of those abrupt moves to the downside. It's a very, very tricky market, and I'm having a very hard time in this market as well as many other traders. So one of the other trades, and let's talk now about some of other trades that we've had called last week and in the previous week. Okay, so the ones that are still active right now are Alcoa, and Alcoa was called on April 18th and was a long at $10, and we did have a stop at $9. The stock is still in plan, as you can see, never violated the $9 area. The sector is relatively weak right now. It's not participating with this market rally, but it's a swing trade, so things will evolve and things might change along the way. So remember, the trigger is above $10, and actually it did have a run, and we have reached a target of $11. The next target that I see is $12 and $12.50. So the trade is still active. The next trade is ASNA. And actually, I do love this stock. It triggered a short under $9, and we do have a stop at $9.65 above this area right here. So the stock is continuing lower. We do have our first target at $8.20, which was hit. So we're looking for further move to the downside into $7.50 and $7. So this was ASNA. And now JCPenney. JCPenney actually has a really nice fluid move to the downside. It looks like it's basing even now on the daily chart and the hourly chart. It has established. You could see this consolidation at $8, but once $8 is going to break, we're going to see even a further move to the downside. JCPenney already hit for two of our targets. $9 target, it was a short at $9.50 into this area right here. This was our short, so short at $9.50. The trade was called on April 25th. So okay, short at $9.50. The stop was $10.20. We hit our first target as of $9 and $9.50, and we're looking for more into $7.90 and further target into $7. So if we break again this $8 area, this is going to have a really nice fluent move all the way to $7.50 again. So hold on. I know we have another target at $7.90, but hold on to it. We might even get more downside to it. So we did have yesterday a new low of $7.99, so we were 9 cents shy of our third target. But hold on, I think it's coming, and a new breakdown below $8 might suggest more downside for this stock. This was today's update, and today is May 10th, 2016. It's late in the afternoon, very close to the end of the trading day. And before I sign out, I just want to take a quick look on the major market indices here and give you a quick update on what we can expect for the next few days. So we had a really nice ascending move in the Qs. We set support right here for this week at 104.38. Very nice move to the upside. We still have enough room into this 200 period moving average at 107.50, and we should expect some kind of stall in this area if we should get a very strong move into this moving average. If we should break this area, make sure that, and again, I've mentioned this in the newsletter, the way I interpret the Qs and the SPYs, these are alternate plays, and support resistance can be also your stop, can also represent your stop and your trigger area as well. So furthermore, we have a nice, if we should break this, we should have a nice swing continuation all the way into $111. So bullish look. I'm sorry, the Qs looks extremely bullish at this time. And as for the SPYs were extremely bullish this year, rather more bullish than the Qs. So we did set up support right here at 104 area. We triggered yesterday. We triggered a daily buy, like most of the stocks, but they were very timid in their moves. And right now we just hit our first area of resistance at 208.25. So if we're going to get a break above this area, a nice continuation should follow into $210, and even these peaks right here, which is a double top into 211. This was all for today, and thank you so much. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to email me at info@tradeoutloud.com. Hope you have a wonderful trading week.